He is okay. Everyone is okay. Everyone is safe and no one was hurt in the accident. I want to start the video with that so that you guys are not worried that he is hurt or someone else is hurt or our family is hurt. Everyone is safe. I want to share the good and the bad and the ugly, and part of this video is going to be ugly, but I have some good news and some updates to share with you guys. So I thought I would just take a deep breath and I would sit back down and I would answer a couple of your questions, give you guys an update, and then talk to you about this car accident. So if you didn't see the video that I filmed prior to this one a couple of days ago, then this video is going to be just kind of out of left field, kind of like that other one was. So if you haven't seen that one, I will leave it on the card up here and in the description box down below. So I would probably recommend watching that one first. Just a quick recap. My boyfriend, or fiance, my partner of 8 years, don't care about labels, he has relapsed on and off for 8 months or so, to the best of my calculations. I don't know. I don't really know where to start, but I'm telling you guys right now, family members and loved ones of people in active addiction have it so rough. And I never understood that until now, because this has been one of the most traumatizing things that I have experienced in my recovery, aside from my daughter being born while I was in prison. Y'all know that story. So my head is just all over the place, and I'm sorry if this is not like an organized video. I just thought I'd sit down and talk to you guys because I know you guys want an update and you're concerned. Before I say anything else, I just want to thank you guys for your outpour of love and support. We don't deserve y'all, and you have been so kind and amazing to me and to him and everyone that I've had on this channel. And the Ride or Die crew is with me in everything that I do, and I just cannot believe, I can't believe the incredible community that we have built. You know, YouTube is really hit and miss. I had no idea when I started this like 4 years ago that we would create such an amazing and positive community. I appreciate you guys so much. So I think I'm gonna talk about the car accident, and then I'm gonna answer a couple of your guys' questions, and then I'm gonna tell you guys an update and where both Reece and I plan to go from here. So when you are a loved one, partner of someone in active addiction, you are afraid of calls like this, that there has been an accident or they are in the hospital or jail, and you're constantly worried about things like this happening. So Reece called me and told me that he was in an accident. My immediate knee-jerk reaction was to yell at him and say, "Were you drunk?" And he wasn't, but that's where my mind went. So I'm like, what the fuck happened? And he said, I fell asleep. I fell asleep. And if you guys know anything about uppers and staying awake for long periods of time, at some point your body just gives out. You can't go a long period of time, no matter how much you're ingesting, no matter how many chemicals you're putting into your body, you cannot go forever. At some point your body will shut down. So he was leaving downtown Chicago, and if you guys are familiar with the area, this accident happened like kind of by the Harlem exit headed west. He was in the far left lane and he fell asleep and he woke up in an accident. And I can't even imagine how fucking scary that must have been for him. So he woke up in the accident, you know, cars are honking because he had kind of hit the median, and his truck was dragging along the median for a while, and he woke up in an accident. So the left side of the truck was kind of smashed up, you know, scratched to shit, and then the headlight was kind of busted up. And because he was asleep and woke up in an accident, he panicked. And he was like, and he freaked out and kind of jerked the wheel, which was probably the worst thing to do, but you wake up in an accident, right? Oh my God. So we're guessing that he kind of jerked the wheel and he hit 2 cars and then hit the embankment. The 2 cars that he hit were barely dinged up. I mean, it really wasn't that serious, thankfully, because this could have been so much worse. It's like one of my biggest fears that I'm gonna get a call about an accident. So I drove to where he was and I talked to the cops that were on scene, and you know, we were going through the whole stuff, calling a tow truck, getting insurance and all that stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that he was gonna get a DUI. I didn't believe that he wasn't drunk. When I showed up, he was telling the truth. He was not drinking, and the cops were really helpful and, you know, really nice, which I appreciate, and that doesn't happen to me. So they were actually even nice enough to not even give him a ticket, which we appreciated. But we had the truck towed, and we found out that the truck is a total loss. So the truck is totaled, which doesn't matter, you know, a truck, car, that can be replaced. Person cannot. So I don't give a single fuck about the truck, if I'm being honest. I am just unbelievably grateful that he is okay. Everyone involved is okay. It was a really scary day because you don't want to get that call. So just to answer a couple of your guys' questions, a lot of you asked me if I have permission from him to share this. A lot of you pointed out that this is not my story to share. And I respectfully disagree with you, but I understand completely where you're coming from because I thought that for a long time. And that's why I didn't film this video prior. And when I told you guys I was struggling with alcohol, I didn't mention any of this because my struggle with alcohol is not his fault or his responsibility, it was my own. I could sit here and say all day long, yeah, I was drinking every day for 2 months because he was stressing me out, but it's not his fault. He is not to blame for my behavior and vice versa. It is completely on me and I own that, and I know that that was not the best response to this stress, and I'm doing a lot better now. So that's good. A lot of you guys have also questioned whether or not my alcohol and my cannabis use contributed to his relapse. No. First of all, Reece is not a stoner, so not his bag, not his thing. Reece was, you know, drinking alcohol responsibly for years before I ever drank. I believe in cannabis. I love that plant, and I will die on this hill. It can help with so many different things. It can be used for chronic pain, seizures, nausea, depression, insomnia, anxiety, appetite issues, stress. I mean, you name it, the list goes on and on and on. I even read an article that cannabis cures COVID, and I swear I believe that. Not because like the plant cures COVID, because it reduces your stress level, and stress weakens your immune system. So there's some, you know, interesting data that has been associated with cannabis and COVID. That has nothing to do, what am I talking about? That has nothing to do with this, I'm sorry. So just like my drinking months ago was not Reece's fault, his relapse is also not my fault. And I understand why people would draw that conclusion. I also understand why people think that two recovering addicts can't date and can't be in a relationship. And I really thought that I was going to be a great example of two people in long-term recovery that are successful. We are human beings. We are all human beings. And I'm not gonna sit here and try to even pretend that I know what he's going through. He has a lot of work to do. And here's the good news and the update. He is willing to do that work. So he is going to go into detox through the VA. After calling the VA here in Illinois and being transferred to like 16 different people, and I was just getting so frustrated. Finally, one lady, and I wish I caught her name because I want to thank her and like I want to build a statue to her. I was so grateful. She said, listen, are you listening to me? This is what you need to do. Take him to the ER here, get him in a detox. Once he's in detox, he'll be in treatment 3 to 4 days later. If you sit at home in detox, 3 to 4 months, maybe you'll be in treatment here. And I am just like, I was blown away when she finally said that to me. So that is the plan. He wants to and is willing to go into detox and then treatment. And I'm so grateful, and I just can't wait to come back on here and let you guys know that he is in treatment. And hopefully after that video, then Reece will be able to come on the channel himself and talk to you guys and answer questions and share his experience from his point of view. And I like goosebumps thinking about that because that's all I want in the world. And this has been unbelievably difficult. I'm always scared, you know, and I don't want to get my hopes up, but my hopes are up, you know. I really want this to be his rock bottom. I don't know if we've shared this many times on the channel, but Reece has an amazing family. His mom and his aunt have a black belt in the program, in Al-Anon and AA, and they are so, like, I want to get to this level of peace, but they're so calm about things like this, and they're so wise, and they've really helped me to try to take a step back and understand that this is not going to happen on my timeline, which is a very difficult thing to handle. They're an incredible resource for me in this moment because they have been here before. So when I met him, his family had, you know, watched him struggle just 6 months before that, and I really didn't even understand that the way that I do now. I also have a little bit of a better understanding of what he has gone through. Speaking of, he wanted me to tell you guys that he saw the video and he read some comments, and he is really grateful for all of your kind words and advice. We also both really appreciate a lot of you guys commenting about how to kind of work around how awful and how slow the VA is. I'm really glad that I called them back and we figured out a way to get him into treatment sooner because he needs it. He really does. And it infuriates me that when people call for help, they're like, well, you can wait 3 to 4 months. If someone is in active addiction and they finally make that step to call and reach out for help, and you just get spun in circles and told to wait, guess what? that is gonna go away. That desire for help in that moment could, not always, it could potentially go away, and then they could never ask for help again. People's lives are on the line with this, so it just makes me absolutely crazy that the VA takes so long to help people. But we have a plan, and I'm very grateful for it. I want to remind you guys that if you are the loved one of an addict, or your partner, your spouse is struggling in active addiction or with a relapse, please remember to take care of you. Please remember, especially if you have children, that the environment that you're in is safe and not toxic. And remember to set boundaries, do self-care. I highly recommend Al-Anon. Your mental health comes first. Your life matters too. And when we're trying to help someone in an active addiction, it is so tiring and exhausting, and we can really lose sense of our own boundaries. I don't know how else to say that. It's like we kind of just forget to take care of us too, you know, and we're just living in this constant state of fear and anxiety and survival mode. But please take care of you, especially learning how to recognize your own triggers and your own trauma that you're healing through, whether it's childhood trauma, generational trauma, things that you have gone through. Learning how to heal that is going to be an incredible resource for helping someone else, because you are not like screaming and yelling at them. You're taking a step back and you're responding and not reacting. And there really is a difference there. And I am still learning that. Promise you that. You know, it is a process to learn how to heal all of these things. I also want to remind you guys that if you're struggling with active addiction, I'm a partner with Groups Recover Together. They are both online and in-person treatment program. They're 420 friendly. They believe in harm reduction, and they're an incredible team of people. They sent me a care package yesterday. It had a candle and a really soft blanket made from an alpaca. It's not, it just was really soft. And then alpaca socks. No alpacas were harmed in the making of my self-care box, but they just are so amazing, and I'm very grateful for them. I always leave my information with them in the description box of every single video, and there are a lot of states that we are in now that we weren't in just a couple of months ago, so check out the map and see where they are. Just to clarify, Groups helps with opioid addiction, not cocaine and alcohol, and hopefully they will add that soon. So a lot of you were like, well, why can't Reece just go to Groups? It's because they don't specialize in that. Reece needs to be at the VA with people that specialize in the kind of trauma that he has and the PTSD that he has. He needs to be around people that understand what he went through. But the plan is detox, treatment, then the therapy for the PTSD, because if he's in active addiction, then all the work that he's going to do with his PTSD struggles, it's not really gonna hit the same, right? So he has to work through these problems one at a time, one step at a time. And the order in that is detox, treatment, PTSD, and therapy. Hopefully the next video that I post about this will be that he's in treatment and he's doing really, really well. I know I already said this, but I'm so grateful for you guys. I can't even tell you what all of your emails and DMs and comments have meant to me. All right, you guys, I'm gonna end today's video here. As always, I love you. Stay safe, stay in recovery, whatever that looks like to you. And please take care of your own mental health, because you matter too. Bye, you guys.